This is the 2026 GMC Acadia Elevation. Is it the perfect midsize SUV for you? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. I borrowed this Acadia from my friends at Mike Morgan Buick GMC in Shreveport, Louisiana. Check out the link down in the description of the video if you want to know more. The exterior color on this model is called Crystal Metallic. A very unique color. I hope it shows up on the screen as well as it does in person. The interior color is called After Dark. You will find full LED lighting with the LED headlights, LED daytime running lights. You also have the LED turn signal indicators and your LED fog lights down there on the lower portion of the front end. We'll find the nice large GMC logo and some gloss black here, maybe not too much. The thing I like is that down here on the bumper, on this area, it's not gloss black. That's good because a matte finish like this is not as likely to show rock chips and little things like that as much as you will find with a gloss finish. Front camera, we're gonna have cameras all over the Acadia. And while this model is coming with front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive is available. 22-inch gloss black wheels, and you will find a spare tire. One thing missing from the side view mirrors. Now here's what you will find. Turn signal indicators built in. They're heated, they're power adjustable. You have blind spot monitoring right here, but the thing that's missing is they are not power folding. They're manually folding, but I don't think that's too big of a deal for a lot of people. And something I have to give GMC a thumbs up for with this model is the fact that you have the button right here. That's called passive entry. You can lock and unlock all four doors from not only the front door handles, but also the rear with passive entry right there. Some vehicles only have it on the front doors. Seems like if it has it in the front, it should also have it in the rear. Here is your remote, lock, unlock, remote start. You can open and close your power tailgate, and your panic button is right there. You also have a key built into the remote if you need to get in. Either the remote dies or the battery dies on the vehicle, you can still get in with that key. And if you're wondering how you do that, there's a cover right here that is very easily removable, and there's the lock. You will find the roof rails on the top. There's also a panoramic sunroof. We have our rear roof spoiler and rear window wiper. And that beep you heard right there is from your power tailgate. I'll show you how that works in just a little while. And we have our LED taillights to finish things off. We'll also have the GMC logo right there. And you'll notice that everything is blacked out for the most part as far as your Acadia and Elevation logos. I also like how things balance out here with the rear bumper with the quad tip exhaust, 2 on each side. Under the hood is the turbocharged 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. It does put out a plentiful 328 horsepower and 326 pounds-feet of torque, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And how about your MPGs? We're looking at 20 city, 26 highway, 22 combined, and 4.5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. Your gas tank size comes in at 19.4 gallons. You can drive about 407 miles in the city and about 543 miles out on the highway on a full tank of gas. Obviously, that's estimated. Tell me what kind of numbers you're experiencing if this is something you own. I know those are not guaranteed numbers. There's a lot of variables that will factor in to how close you can get. Some people might be below, some people might be above. Depending on if you go with front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, towing capacity with the Acadia will range between 3,500 pounds and up to 5,000 pounds. And let's talk about the Auto Sense tailgate. You hear all those beeps? And I'm not doing anything. I'm just standing here. It senses that I'm there and automatically opens the power tailgate. Some call it a lift gate, whichever you want to use. But that is a very nice feature. Now, if you happen to be walking past the back of your Acadia and it starts to beep, just keep walking, don't stop, it won't open. It'll beep a few times, but it won't actually open. Just make sure you're moving as you go by fast enough, not real slowly, and you shouldn't have any trouble. And how about cargo capacity? You're looking at 23 cubic feet to 57.3 cubic feet to 97.5 cubic feet, depending on how you set things up with the seats, whether they're raised in their upright position or lowered, as we have them all here. Pretty easy to deal with. And back here in the rear cargo area, you will find a 12-volt power outlet. You will also find a little bit of storage space underneath the floor. And to gain access to your spare tire that is under this area, here are the instructions on how to do that. Basically, you're just going to unscrew all of these, take those off, and you can pull this out. You'll have access to the tire and the tools you need to change the tire. Your second row passengers will find plenty of room with the armrest. It is comfortable, and the large door bin. These seats can move back and forth to increase leg space for third row passengers if so desired. This is how you lower the seat back by pulling up on the lever. The seat back comes down. These seats do recline, by the way. The seat backs do here in the middle seat area. And to gain access to the third row, we pull up on the release right there, and that makes it easy to hop on in. And there is a little bit of additional space here, as you can see, on the passenger side with the seat all the way forward. Not quite as much over there on the driver's side, but in a situation where the extra space is needed, adults can sit back here if necessary. I wouldn't want to do that for a really long time, however. Air conditioning vents in the roof area, I like that a lot better as opposed to having them down in this area. But what you will find is a USB port, a cup holder, and a little bit of space behind that, and we're going to have that on both sides. And it's very easy to get back out. In fact, some people might just go through the pass-through right here. A little bit easier to get out like this. We pull up on that lever again and move the seat up and out of the way. You also have your panoramic sunroof. That front portion will open, and there is a power shade that can be drawn back and forth depending on what you want to do. And we'll find seat pockets on the back of the driver and passenger seats, cup holders on the rear of the center console, and the command center here for adjusting the third zone of climate control. We have dual in the front, single in the rear, and you can adjust the fan speed and the temperature. And we'll also have some connectivity options down here with the power outlet and a couple more USB ports. And here are the fold-down armrests for the center seats. For those who want to know, they work pretty well. I wish they were a little bit longer, but not too bad. The sticker price is $55,065. Let's see what else you get for that price. The front door is going to have a little more space when it comes to the armrests and the door bins. The passenger seat is power adjustable with lumbar support, as is the driver's seat. We'll go over here and take a look at the glove box. Plenty of room within that area. And we'll have the pass-through right here. That makes things a little bit more convenient. There's also a 12-volt power outlet over there on the right-hand side, as you can see. And we'll work our way up to the upper console. You're going to find a few things up here to take a look at and know about, including your hazard light button if you're looking for that. Here is how we manage the sunroof. That's for your power shade, which, by the way, I did draw forward in case you wanted to see that. And a sunglass holder. Nice to see that. Seems like we're seeing more vehicles without sunglass holders in this day and age. And you will not find seat memory here. At the price point of this Acadia, I am a little surprised at that, but that's the way it is in this particular case. All of our controls for our power side view mirrors and power windows are here, and our lock and unlock buttons. Here's where you turn the auto stop start on or off, depending on your personal preference. Your power parking brake is here, and your drive mode selector. In fact, let's go through the drive modes. On the 15-inch touchscreen, we're going to have normal. That's going to be your default mode. Sport mode. We'll also have snow and ice, in addition to tow haul mode. Your steering wheel mounted controls are here. Going to have our heated steering wheel button. Don't need that right now, but you can see what all is here. Voice commands, all that good stuff. Everything for your adaptive cruise control is here. And your shifter paddles for working your way back and forth through the 8-speed automatic transmission. Over here on the right-hand side, you see the controls right here are for adjusting the volume for the radio. And over on the left-hand side, you can go through whatever you need to listen to, change stations, change what you're listening to on a playlist on YouTube, whatever it is, you can do that. Obviously, you can do those things with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And this button right here, that allows for changing the information and the look of the driver's display. This is an 11-inch display. You can see that you have built-in navigation. We have a couple of other screens we can look at just to show you what all is here. So it just depends on what you want and how you want it to look. The shifter over here on the right-hand side of the steering column. And we also have everything here for our turn signal indicators. If you know how to use those, I know some of you do and a lot of you don't. Also, the controls here for your front and rear window wipers. Yes, I like being sarcastic about those who don't use their turn signals. And let's go back to the 15-inch center screen. Very nice, very easy to use. It is pretty big. A lot of people have told me with Honda Pilot videos in the past that a 9-inch screen is too small. Do you think 15 inches is too big? You have Google Assistant, or you can go through all kinds of different commands and questions, all kinds of things you can do. The Play Store is up there. You've got trailering. You can see what all is here. We also have those multiple camera views that I mentioned earlier. We have our overhead view. We have the front and rear views. There's our front view camera and our rear view. The overhead views will also offer 2 different views. The same thing with your side view mirror cameras. And then if you're going to back up to a trailer or just maybe see what's going on behind you so you don't hit anything, there is how you're going to accomplish that. And something that deserves some time is settings. Quite a few things to talk about here, but I'm going to hit the highlights. I'm not going to cover everything, just show you a couple of things that are here on this screen, but we're going to go into vehicle and talk about some important points. First of all, we have team driver mode. You also have your rear seat reminder if you want to turn that on and off, buckle to drive. You can do the same thing with that. I do recommend driving with your seatbelt on. But if you're just driving around in a parking lot or something like that and you don't need your seatbelt on, at least hopefully you don't. Depends on how people drive, I guess, in a parking lot. But you can have that turned off so you don't have to use buckle to drive. Climate and air quality, speed assist. And here's something a lot of people ask about, your safety features, the driving aids. We have forward collision avoidance. We also have front pedestrian braking, intersection collision braking, side bicyclist alert, lane change alert, park assist with braking, park assist tow bar, rear cross traffic braking, and rear pedestrian alert. And one more thing I definitely want to tell you about. We're going to go into comfort and convenience and show you a couple of things that are very important. If your hands-free rear gate does not open, I showed you how to do that earlier. Make sure that it's not set to off. You can see where I went right there into your hands-free exterior storage access. And you can also change the height that it opens to. We used to have a button right down here where you could do that. Some GMC models have it up here, a dial where it says max 3/4 or off. Well, now you do that here. You've got maximum, custom, and off. And here are a couple of things I'm very curious to receive your feedback on. And that is the fact that there are so many controls that have now moved to the center screen, including your exterior lighting. You can set that to off, auto. You can turn everything on like that if you want to. It just depends on your situation. And then I'm going to go right here and we're going to go to controls and safety. You can set everything up with your head-up display, your HUD. Hopefully you can see that. It is a little bit bright outside, so I don't know that that's showing up as well as I want it to. But in the event that you don't see it and you know that your vehicle has it, make sure it's turned on, just like that. One of those simple little tricks that you might not know about. We're going to go back up here and show you what else is here. We have the dome light, your power window lockout, cameras. You can see what else is here. And then we have see more controls. And depending on what you want to do, this is where you're going to find that, including programming your universal remote. Now you can use the vehicle to program up to 8 different garage doors to the vehicle. I don't know who has 8 garage doors, but you can see right there, it says 8 remotes. Potentially. That's very interesting. If you have 8 garage doors, I'd love to see your house. But that's the situation. You can hit add remote. It's actually very easy to do. It walks you through the steps as far as that goes. Now, one thing that has changed on the GMC Yukon that I'm really happy is not here. In my opinion, it's just easier this way. On the Yukons, you go into your 16.8-inch touchscreen, and that's how you turn your child safety locks on and off for the rear doors. That is not actually here because they're still controlled right here on the back doors themselves. All right, here we go on our test drive with the Acadia. And I know one of the top questions people will have has to do with the engine that's under the hood. And while it makes plenty of horsepower and gets down the road with no problems based on my what I'll call limited experience, because I haven't had the opportunity to drive it for multiple hours, it gets the job done. But I know a lot of people are saying, gee, I wonder if GMC will ever bring this V6 back. Well, I can't tell you about that, but I do think that would be a good idea. At least make it optional or make the 4-cylinder optional and use the 6-cylinder that was formerly in the Acadia as the basically default or standard option that it comes with. Tell me what your thoughts are where that is concerned, especially for those of you who already own a 25 or 26 Acadia with the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder under the hood. What are your thoughts? How has it performed for you? Are you happy? Are you not? It does have a very comfortable ride quality. It does have the potential versatility of all-wheel drive. If that's something you're interested in having or needing, it just depends on your situation. But I know a lot of you live in areas where you get a lot of snow, something we rarely do here, but it's amazing how when it does happen, so many people start going out and buying all-wheel drive vehicles, because it does make a difference. But we're not used to all of that down here, and I'm happy about that. I'd rather have the heat than the snow. Easy to see out of and a comfortable driver's seat. You could definitely take a long road trip in this Acadia and be nice and comfortable. It's not going to wear you out with an uncomfortable ride quality. You have all of the adjustability within the driver's seat and the steering wheel. And of course, lumbar support here with your front seats. That seems to be one of the main boxes a lot of people want to check off when it comes to what they're looking for in their new vehicles. You do have that here, so that's going to be a plus. And you've got all your great safety features and driving aids that are going to help you out when you're out on the road. And an easy to manage brake and gas pedal and a fairly good turning radius. It is a mid-size SUV, so it's not going to be that of a subcompact or a compact SUV, something along those lines. But you still find that you have a nice turning radius, a lot of versatility with the Acadia. And if you're saying, well, Tom, there's some features that I would like to have with my Acadia that aren't there, you might want to check out my videos on the higher trim levels beyond the Elevation and see if what you're looking for is potentially on those vehicles. I don't have anything as far as a 2026 goes at the moment when I'm filming and publishing this video, but there's no changes between 2025 and 2026. And there it is, the 2026 GMC Acadia Elevation. Is it the perfect midsize SUV for you? Tell me what you think down in the comments section. I'm always curious to receive your feedback. What is not here with the Acadia that you wish was? I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Mike Morgan Buick GMC for loaning me this Acadia for the day so I could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That's very helpful to me. Please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And if you would, please share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. If you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.